Hello everyone, and welcome back to Planet Coaster here on this channel. As you can already see in the background, the game is stuttering so badly that it's no longer playable. That's why I decided to tear down the entire themed area and somehow bring this to a conclusion in the sci-fi area. At first, I wanted to give the park another chance and remove all park guests from the park, but that didn't really help, which is why I unfortunately have to delete the planned Aztec area. What I find really interesting again is that in the speed build, the heavy stuttering and lagging you could see at the beginning is suddenly barely noticeable anymore.
Move on. I was running from a bad thing when I first met you. This is gonna hurt, but it doesn't make it any less true. I never really loved you. I never really did call you.
Even though I can't get the terrain back to how it originally was, I still try my best to restore it so that it looks reasonably good again.
Something in my head because I'm lonely. I never ever meant to hurt you, but it doesn't make it any less true.
The park railway also still needs a connection back to the first station. Otherwise, it won't be functional. It now looks a bit out of place and not really coherent. Almost unfinished, but what can I do?
Notice how my eyes have been glowing since I've been on my own. I was scared to start my own new story.
I also thought, partly to save some time, that I might still create some kind of lake so that this wall doesn't end up being completely pointless. So I removed some of the terrain along the quay wall and closed off the wall.
Doesn't make it any less true. I never really loved you. I never really did call you my only. I'm only holding on to something in my head because I'm lonely.
Now you're probably wondering what the is going on here. First he tears everything down, then suddenly a cut, almost everything is back, and now he's expanding the Aztec area again? What's happening? Let me explain it. At the end of the rebuilding work, I noticed that the game suddenly started running much more smoothly with only minor micro stutters left. That's why I dared to load a save state from before the demolition and simply did nothing for about 10 minutes. Except kicking all park visitors out of the park. And lo and behold, the park is now running reasonably smoothly again, just like before. Unfortunately, during the demolition work, I deleted the most recent save state, which means I have to fall back on this one. So now I'll be building quite a few things here that you already know from the previous episode, but also some new things, so you won't be seeing a one-to-one repeat of last time. So take in the energy of this soundtrack, and let's do a restart right in the middle of the episode. Hey, and welcome back to a new episode of Planet Coaster here on my channel, Fabtendo X2. Great to have you back as we're already deep in the background expanding the Aztec area. Somehow, I get a bit of deja vu, though I can't quite put my finger on it as if I've already done this mod before. Anyway, today we're definitely continuing with the Aztec area, our park's final section. As you can see, there's been a bit of a setback because, for certain reasons, I deleted the latest save state. In any case, I'll try to rebuild what I need to, step by step. making sure it doesn't just feel like copy-paste. You can also see with the flat ride that the wall is now aligned more flush. The Aztec pyramid is back in place, and further back, I'm starting the basic layout for another roller coaster. I'm using a workshop element as a reference, but I'm building it myself because that's the only way I can really learn how the theme area should look. What these lava plates are for is quite simple. This Aztec area is meant to be a kind of lava landscape, a former swamp now covered in lava. And with this, I'm basically laying the foundation for this theming. On the island area that has just been expanded, a roller coaster will be built, which will be located inside an Aztec pyramid. I can already spoil one thing: the pyramid will not be finished yet. Here, I am only defining the rough shape and position. The rest will follow in the next episodes. The Aztec pyramid will have a base area of 14 times 16 tiles and will be 6 levels high. Finally, I expand the lava lake a bit more before we reach the end of the video.